Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cozy English. I am so glad you could join me today for a cup of tea and a bit of a chat. Today, we're going to talk about something that touches nearly everyone, especially when we're young: social pressure. It's that feeling, isn't it? That invisible force that seems to guide our choices, our clothes, and even our thoughts. It's the feeling that we need to fit in, to be liked, meet certain expectations. But where does this pressure come from? And how can we navigate it without losing ourselves? Let's get comfortable and explore this together. First, let's break down what social pressure really is. At its core, it's the influence exerted by our peers, our social groups, to conform to their attitudes, behaviors, and values. It can be direct, like someone explicitly telling you to do something, or indirect, which is often more subtle. Indirect pressure is seeing what everyone else is doing on social media and feeling like you need to do the same to be part of the group. It's the unsaid rules about what's cool and what's not. For young people, this is a huge part of life. During our teenage years and early 20s, we're trying to figure out who we are, and our friends and social circles are a massive part of that journey. We look to them for clues on how to act, what to like, and who to be. One of the biggest sources of social pressure today is, without a doubt, social media. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and others create a constant stream of curated images and lifestyles. We scroll through feeds filled with perfect holidays, amazing achievements, and flawless appearances. It's very easy to start comparing our own lives to these highly edited highlights. We might see someone with thousands of followers and think, why am I not that popular? Or see someone traveling the world and feel like our own life is boring in comparison. This creates a pressure to present a perfect version of ourselves online, a version that might not match our reality. We feel the need to post exciting updates, even when we're just having a quiet day at home. The pressure to get likes and comments can feel like a measure of our self-worth, which is a very heavy burden to carry. But social pressure isn't just online. It's very real in our daily lives, especially at school and university. Think about academic pressure. There can be an intense competition to get the best grades, to get into the best universities, or to choose a career path that is seen as successful, like being a doctor or a lawyer. This pressure might come from parents, teachers, and even friends. It can feel like if you're not a top student, you're somehow failing. This can lead to a lot of stress and anxiety, and it might push young people into fields they're not even passionate about, just because it's what's expected of them. The focus shifts from learning and personal growth to simply meeting an external standard of success, which can be really damaging to our natural curiosity and joy for learning. Then there's the pressure related to our social lives. Who you hang out with, what parties you go to, what clothes you wear, all of these can feel like high-stakes decisions. There's often a pressure to be popular, to be part of the in crowd. This can lead to difficult situations where you might feel pressured to do things you were not comfortable with just to fit in. It could be something minor like pretending to like a certain type of music, or something more serious. The fear of being left out, of being seen as different, is incredibly powerful. It can make us compromise our own values and beliefs. It's a classic dilemma. Do you stay true to yourself and risk being an outsider, or do you conform to be accepted? It's also important to talk about the pressure regarding appearance. Society, through media and advertising, often promotes a very narrow and unrealistic standard of beauty. For young people who are already navigating changes in their bodies, this can be particularly difficult. There's pressure to have the right body shape, the perfect skin, the most fashionable haircut. This can lead to a negative body image and low self-esteem. We start to focus on our perceived flaws instead of appreciating our unique qualities. This constant scrutiny of our appearance is exhausting, and it can take a huge toll on our mental health. It distracts us from what truly matters: our character, our kindness, our talents. So, with all these pressures coming from different directions, what can we do? How can we build resilience and stay true to ourselves? The first step is awareness. Simply recognizing when you're feeling social pressure is a huge part of taking back control. Ask yourself, am I doing this because I want to, or because I feel like I have to? Pausing to reflect on your motivations can be incredibly empowering. It helps you separate your own desires from the expectations of others. The next, and perhaps most important, step is to cultivate self-worth from within. Your value as a person does not depend on how many likes you get, what grades you achieve, or how popular you are. It comes from who you are. Focus on your strengths, your passions, and your values. What are you good at? What makes you happy? What do you believe in? Spend time developing your hobbies and interests, whether it's painting, playing a sport, learning an instrument, or volunteering. When you have a strong sense of self, the opinions of others become less important. You have your own internal compass to guide you. Building a supportive network of friends is also crucial. True friends will accept you for who you are, not for who they want you to be. They won't pressure you to change or do things that make you uncomfortable. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, who celebrate your successes, and who support you when you're struggling. Quality is so much more important than quantity when it comes to friendships. Having just one or two close, genuine friends can make all the difference in navigating the challenges of social pressure. It's also helpful to limit your exposure to negative influences. This might mean curating your social media feed. Unfollow accounts that make you feel bad about yourself or that promote unrealistic standards. Follow people and pages that inspire you, that educate you, or that simply make you laugh. Remember that social media is a tool, and you have control over how you use it. Taking regular breaks from screens can also help you reconnect with your real life and reduce the feeling of comparison. And finally, please remember that it is always okay to say no. Setting boundaries is a sign of strength, not weakness. If your friends are pressuring you to do something you don't want to do, you have the right to refuse. A simple, no, thanks, I'm not into that is a complete sentence. You don't always have to explain or justify your choices. Protecting your peace and your integrity is one of the most important things you can do for yourself. If someone doesn't respect your boundaries, they may not be the right person to have in your life. Dealing with social pressure is a journey, not a destination. There will be times when you feel it more strongly than others. The goal isn't to become completely immune to it, but to develop the tools and the confidence to navigate it in a healthy way. Be kind to yourself. Celebrate your individuality. Remember that your unique path is valid and valuable. You don't need to follow the crowd to find happiness and success. In fact, very often, the most fulfilling journeys are the ones we carve out for ourselves. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I hope this conversation has been helpful. Remember, you are enough just as you are. If you enjoyed our chat, please consider liking this video and subscribing to Cozy English for more conversations like this. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care.